Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Crystalline. Oop. Last time we got like transported to the past, future, present was different. I don't know. I'm very confused. I think we went back in time, not sure. But I was punched in the gut because I remembered I broke up with Leanna. Oh, this is right, Leanna and I. We were together. We aren't strangers. This place, it can't be the real Metal Hill. This can't be the real Asari. As soon as that last thought passes through my head, the sky cracks. A shimmer of warmth rushes into Meadow Hill and floods the white light. I cringe and shield my eyes with my hands. I jerk awake. The light is gone. Huh? I feel a Pongo resting on my chest, but he just looks a blurry blue blob. I blink rapidly, forcing my vision to refocus. Pongo's eyes shimmer with tears. He nudges my cheek as if trying to wake me. His little voice is tinged with distress. Hey, it's alright, I'm okay. Pongo perks up at my voice. I reach out and pet the top of his head. Hey, it's okay. He wobbles underneath my touch. I feel him start to relax. He hops into my shoulder and snuggles close to my neck. I force myself to stand. The room sways a little. It takes me a full minute to realize I'm back in the Shadow Temple. I groan and rub the back of my head. What was that? I feel a Pongo shrug.
Boy.
So you didn't see any of that? He blinks. Apparently not. Was it all just a dream? I look around. Where did the others go? I blink over the rest of the bleariness from my vision and see the others are sprawled out across the floor. My stomach lurches with alarm. What happened? Are they hurt? Leanna is close to me. I stumble as I rush over to her. Leanna? I reach out, attempting to shake her away. As soon as I touch her, the same blinding light exposes my vision, and I flinch and squeeze my eyes shut. Then slowly the light begins to fade. I open my eyes. Isn't this Leanna's home? We're all seated at the table for breakfast. The tension is taut in the air.
Oh, spare me the theatrics. How could this be your dream? Don't you realize how dangerous it is to be a mage knight?
Yes, I do realize that. I live it every day. But at least, as a mage knight, I'm well equipped to take care of myself. I've been trained to handle danger.
He shakes his head.
You can't be prepared for every circumstance. What if you get ambushed, outnumbered, or overwhelmed in battle? What if your teammates fall and you're the only one left?
So what if that does happen? How can we live life based on hypotheticals? What if I became ill? What if I couldn't bear children? Would you still force me to get married? But if those things happened, I wouldn't be able to fulfill my duty as a lady in the House of Dawn. Then what?
Her father scowls and waves a hand dismissively.
That's not the same. Those are all based on chance. You aren't throwing yourself into situations which would allow those things to occur. As a mage knight, you're walking into those scenarios every day.
Leanna points a finger at Leon. Her voice is shrill. She tries to keep her composure.
What about Leo then? He's a mage knight who walks into danger every day. Why aren't you worried about him?
Because it's his responsibility to serve and protect as a man in the House of Dawn.
For once, Leanna is speechless. Silence settles over the table like a heavy blanket. Her mother stares at the lap until, as still as a statue, Leon opens his mouth and closes his mouth as if he wants to speak but can't find the words to say. Her father nods.
Now that you've come to your senses, we can discuss the details of the engagement.
No.
The rage returns to her father's face.
How many times must we go round in this endless game? When will you accept your responsibility as a lady in the House of Dawn?
Leanna's voice is scarily calm.
If this is what it takes to be a Dawn, then I don't want to be a Dawn anymore.
Then her parents laugh.
Fine.
Shock spreads across Leanna's face.
What?
He shrugs.
If you refuse to fulfill your responsibility as a Dawn, then you have no right to call yourself a Dawn.
None of this is right. Her father was mortified when Leanna suggested throwing away her family name before. Leanna, this isn't your father.
What?
She looks around. Can she hear me? I try raising my voice. I think about it. Your father would never say something like that. She freezes. Yes, she can hear me. Don't you think that all this is strange? Her head turns in the direction of my voice, but I don't think she can see
Leanna, are you listening to me?
She turns to face him. Her posture becomes straight.
I understand now.
She shakes her
I
head.
understand now. You are not my family. My father would never say something like that.
Just like before, there's another blinding flash of light, and it engulfs the room until my eye till it burns my eyes too much to keep them open. I cringe, shielded my face. After a few moments, I feel the light slowly beginning to fade. When I open my eyes again, Lena is still on the ground. She gasps awake. Are you okay? I'm still on my knees, hovering beside her.
I think so.
Lena lets out a deep sigh.
Happy all of that was just a terrible dream.
She shivers.
I know that's not how it happened, but hearing it was still unnerving.
I nod. She releases a
Thank
heavy
you.
breath. I nod. Lena glances around me. She must have spotted the others because her face froze.
Are they okay? What's happening to them?
I think they're trapped inside their own illusions. When I touched you, I was able to see and hear everything that's going on. I think we can help them too. She nods, still visibly
Right.
shaken. I help her stand and we drag our way over to the others. Zach is the closest. His face was surprisingly calm, as if he was just cuddled up for an afternoon nap. Even so, I feel an impending sense of dread. What kind of illusion is Zach facing? I can't even begin to imagine some awful things he must be having seen in the past as a mercenary. Are you ready? Oh, Anna nods. Together we bend down and touch his arm. That's the light. Same low moaning sound, a flash of light. Lane and I find ourselves in the campsite. A few silver stars wink overhead. The air is cool and calm. Fireflies blink in the distance.
Where are we?
I'm not sure. There's an abrupt roar of laughter. We turn to see Zach sitting around the fire and a large group of people. They all burst into another wave of laughter. There, Zach joins in their merriment. I was expecting something darker, but he's actually happy. My stomach clenches. I'm not sure if that's worse or not. Zach glances over a few cards in his hands and notices others are also hunched over their own cards.
Damon, do you have any sixes?
They're playing Go Fish. My heart gives an unpleasant
Oh,
twist. Rory crinkles between Lane and his
Damon.
brows.
That's his old mentor, right?
I nod. I remember some of the stories Zach told me about Damon. In the end, he looks like a humble and strong Zach to describe him to be. Damon chuckles.
Not today, my boy.
Zach sighs and begrudgingly takes a card from the pile.
Hey, Zach. You don't happen to have any sixes, do you?
What a piece of shit. Bear chuckles. He has the same bright red hair, but he looks younger here. A few marks on his face look fresh, like he just got them recently. Zach grudgingly hands over his cards. A grin sprawls across Bear's face as he places down several
Looks
matches.
like I win again.
The others throw their heads back and groan, but they're laughing. Zach shakes his
You
head.
always seem to win.
Bear shrugs, feigning humility.
What can I say? I'm just lucky.
Damon claps his hand over Zach's shoulder.
Maybe next time, Zach.
Zach smiles, looking appreciative. My stomach turns. Zach, this isn't real. Zach pauses and lifts his head up and turns in our direction.
What's wrong?
He shakes his head.
Nothing. I just thought I heard my name.
Bear laughs.
Getting a little crazy there, Zach?
After a faint blush dusts his cheeks, he shakes his
No,
head.
it was nothing.
Elena frowns next to
This
me.
isn't good. What if he doesn't want to leave the illusion?
Hey, dinner's ready. Everyone perks up.
Oh, great. I'm starving.
One of the men passes everyone in the group with a bowl of soup, and just as soon as Zach's about to dig in, someone hands Bear a bowl. It's twice the size of everyone else, and Zach barely blinks an eye.
You've got to eat up there. I can't have my star pupil going hungry.
Bear flashes Damon a bright smile.
Thanks.
Damon takes a few bites of
Oh,
his soup.
by the way, Zach, after we're done, you can clean up for the night.
Zach blinks.
Me? But I cleaned up the last 3 times.
Damon smiles, looking apologetic.
Bear needs to have his strength to run point on the Crystal Rail mission tomorrow.
Zach
Wait.
blinks. Zach's held breath seemed to leave his
The
body.
crystal rail.
Bear lets out a bitter laugh.
What? Did you think you were running point?
The realization washes over him. Zach's face
That-
pales.
That's not...
He shakes his head.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Zach looks like he is remembering. Hope flourishes in my chest. But Zach, you ran point in the mission, Zach, not Bear. Bear betrayed you. Zach brows furrows. I know he heard me.
I ran point on that mission.
What are you talking about?
Damien's raises his
Zach,
eyebrows.
you're not making sense. We haven't
Damon.
done the mission yet.
Zach's eyes go dark like his very soul is flown somewhere far, far
No.
away.
We have.
His grip tightens around his bowl. Damon's brows crinkles while they stare at
What are
him.
you talking about?
He lets out a nervous laugh.
You're starting to worry me.
Zach slowly raises his head. His eyes are bleak.
No,
His bangs cover his eyes.
this isn't real.
Damon shifts under his
What
gaze.
do you mean?
Zach looks up. He seems to have trouble getting the words
This
out.
was nice, seeing all of you again.
The group looks at him, but no one speaks. Zach stands up and brushes himself
You're
off.
leaving?
Zach nods.
I'm moving forward with my life. I'm not living in the past anymore.
He stares down at Damon. Damon finally smiles.
Take care then.
Always.
A bright light bursts across their eyes. It's like a star exploded and filled the entire campsite. I flinch, throwing my arms over my eyes. The heat from the light gradually begins to decrease. I feel it start to dim. When I lower my arm, a few bright spots blink in front of my nose. It takes a few seconds for my eyes to refocus. I realize we're back in the temple. Zach groans and slowly hoisting himself up, he rubs his head. Leanna's brows crinkle.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
And despite what happened, he seems to be at peace. These illusions don't use our memories. A shiver runs down the length of my spine. How does this place know so much about us? Zach shrugs. He doesn't have any answers. Leanna, meanwhile, seems to be as spooked as
I don't know. We'd better help the others before they slip further away.
Yep. I nod. We look a little farther down the corridor, finding Kara. Her brown ponytail is sprawled behind her. Her face is wrought like she's having a nightmare. She flinches as we crouch down. I notice Zach's jaw is tight. He reaches out and touches her shoulder, and Leanna and I fall asleep. Well, we don't... Effectively speaking, we really should split up. There's a flash of light. When it fades, I find myself standing between Leanna and Zach in such small
My decision
room.
is final.
What the fuck? I look up. Zach is standing across from Kara with his arms crossed. Wait, what? I glance at the Zach beside me and then back to the seat. Is the other Zach an illusion? Kara's eyes shimmer with tears.
What did I do wrong?
You know exactly what you did wrong.
Kara's face crumples.
Please, don't.
She crosses her arms, hugging herself.
Please.
Don't pretend to be sorry now. You deserve to be alone.
What the fuck?
What?
The real Zach's face curdles into a snarl.
You bastard!
Huh. He lunges forward and punches Zach in the face.
Ow!
He stumbles backwards, clutching his
What the
nose.
hell?
Fury contorts real Zach's
What
face.
is wrong with you? What? Who are you?
And Zach strikes him again. So hard his head reels to the side.
Ow. Like hell, I'm gonna let you walk away from the greatest thing that happened in your life.
Yeah, Zach rubs his jaw. His eyes stare wide at the real Zach. I can see the shock and dismay in him. It's a weird look.
How are you even doing this?
Zach punches him again in response. Why are you hitting yourself? Oh, I've got to. Hey, Zach. Zach looks at me. Why are you hitting yourself?
Shut up!
I had to. I'm sorry. Kara blinks.
Wait.
It seems that she's just never getting to process what's going on. She looks between the two Zachs. I can see the cogs turning in her head and pieces everything together. Finally, she smiles, a blush dusty
I'm
cheeks.
the greatest thing that has ever happened to you.
A white light shimmers and blooms and sparkles over the entire area. Once again, we're taken out of the illusion and find ourselves back inside the temple. Zach growls and swings forward, his fists whistling through the air. He stumbles and rights himself in the last
Where
minute.
is that guy?
He whirls around searching for him. Kara Bean rushes over and throws her arms around Zach. Zach freezes. Kara snuggles her head into the crook of his neck.
So,
What?
I'm the greatest thing that has ever happened to you.
Zach's face flushes ruby red.
I only said that so you'd wake up.
She continues to nuzzle him.
No take backsies.
He turns away, still red, but he doesn't fight out of her grasp. I clear my throat. You guys... We still have to help Amy. Kara blinks, and noticing us for the first time, her expression becomes serious. She steps away from Zach, but not before snatching his hand. Scratching his hand, just... He gives her a confused look as she interlocks her fingers.
Come on, let's go find Amy.
We walk a little further along to find Amelia. She's sprawled across the floor. Her face is unusually... Usually a mask of calm is twisted with something unpleasant. I frown suddenly uneasy. Whatever Amy's going through doesn't look good. As soon as I reach out and touch her arm, it's a white light engulfs my vision. Again. When it puffs out, I find myself
This
back
is
in
the inn from
Illumia.
Illumia, isn't it?
I look around. Yeah.
Greetings.
I look around. Amy is standing at the bar talking to Leanna. I blink. Whoa. Are her eyes weirdly fucking hollow? Or are they always like that and I just never noticed? They don't shine. Why does Amy see an illusion of Leanna? The real Leanna
I
flushes.
don't know.
Amelia doesn't seem to even notice our presence. She continues
I am
on.
aware of the true location of Ember Mist.
My mind starts racing.
Wait, Ember mist.
A light bulb goes off in my head. This is the day we first met. Amy when she asked to join our group. Leanna nods, looking worried. Why would Amy's trial be something like this?
You're just a kid. You should go back to the academy. It's too dangerous out here for someone your age.
Jesus Christ. Amelia turns pink. Is someone as young as her? Realization washes over me like cold water. Everywhere Amy went, she was treated like a kid. The academy didn't take her seriously. Even us as a group are always babying her. Is this Amelia's worst fear? To always be seen as a
I
child?
think you are mistaken about my age. I am a student studying to be a mage caster. I have received top marks in all of my classes.
The fake Leanna laughed, shaking her head.
Aw, that's adorable. Little Amelia gets top marks. Do you want me to give you a gold star sticker?
Jesus Christ. Amelia flinches as the fake Leanna just struck her. Pain flashes behind her eyes. I've never seen her look at devastation before.
It would be a lot of work to protect you. I don't want to be a full-time babysitter while traveling.
Jesus. Zach frowns as he sees Amy's distress. He shoves Leanna towards her illusion. Beat her up.
Out there and punch your fake self in the face.
Yeah.
What?
Do what he did. She stumbles, catching herself, then comes to face with Amelia. Amelia blinks in
Why
surprise.
are there two of you?
The real Leanna panics.
You can see me?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, she does have light in her eyes. That in it. Really? That does so much. This little white splotch in the real Leanna's eyes does so much to make her not look like a dead fish. Like a Jesus. The fake Leanna gives the real Leanna strange looks and asks what she's
Don't
doing
listen
here.
to this imposter, Amy. You're the one that came out of nowhere. Clearly, you're the imposter.
Amy pauses.
Perhaps this is another trial.
She taps her chin in
There
thought.
is really only one way to settle this.
Both Leannas stare at her.
How?
Each of you must attempt a flirtatious encounter.
What the fuck? The fake Leanna smirks.
This will be a piece of cake. I refuse!
Leanna crosses her arms. Amelia doesn't even blink. She looks at the real Leanna and nods.
I am certain of who the real Leanna is, and I will no longer believe the lies of the other one.
The white light flashes instantly and floods the room before fading away. A few seconds later, we find ourselves back at the temple. As our vision refocuses, Leanna looks at Amelia.
How did you guess which one was me so quickly?
Oh, come on. Karen interrupts before Amy
Because
gets.
you're a prude.
Leanna's eyes grow wide and she crosses her arms.
I am not.
Kara snickers at Leanna and looks into Zach, who shrugs.
You definitely are.
She looks at me. She quickly looks away. My chest aches again with a fresh wave of pain when I wouldn't get to be able to feel her affection once more. Jesus Christ. That was a line I didn't want to fucking read. I shake my head, shaking away these thoughts. Amelia, who is still on the floor, rises to a stand. She rubs the back of her head in thought.
It is most interesting you were all able to join me in the same illusion. Was it the same for the rest of you?
We know.
I see.
She still looks a little bit bothered at what she saw by her illusion, but she still crosses
Perhaps
her
it would
arms.
be best to keep moving. I believe that was a temple trial we just encountered. We must be close to the heart of the temple.
That's true. Normally, after completing a trial, we'll be sent to the room with the elemental.
Hey, do you guys see that?
She points to the door. Carvings are rather intricate. I can see more symbols and elaborate swirls and whirls. It's deep plum purple, standing out amongst the
Do we
stone.
attempt to open it?
Zach shrugs.
It's not like there's another option.
Let's go. I lead the way to the door, and the others follow. I'm gonna save here, just in case. We step to the door. Standing in the center, directly facing me, is the shadow elemental. She's like a dark elf or something. Her long hair falls delicately at her back, to her back, flowing around her gossamer gown. Her dress hugs her every curve. I lift my gaze as her violet eyes meet mine. I open my mouth to speak when a gasp interrupts me.
The elemental.
I glance over at my friends who are frozen in a wide-eyed shock. Amy's eyes are the size of saucers. Her mouth is open with a silent wonder. I can almost see the question racing through her mind. Lena's expression is one more quiet amazement. She carefully looks the elemental up and down. Zack slowly shakes off the surprise and resumes his usual expression while Tara doesn't even bother to mask her appreciation. Wait, you can see her?
I sure can. No wonder you went ahead and kissed the last one.
Jesus. Ha ha ha. Always with the jokes. My game starts to manner. She pretends like it doesn't faze her, but she refuses to meet my eyes. Yeah, why would stop? It's annoying me that you're doing stuff like that. Is that clamps a hand on my back?
Guess you aren't crazy after all.
Through the whole encounter, the shadow until gaze remains on me. As I refocus on her, a smile lights up her face. Her dress simmers as we take a step closer.
Child of the other world, you have finally arrived.
Oh. Her voice feels familiar yet strange. Like a melody I can't quite place. It's quite quiet yet resounding. Be cool. Oh, so you can talk. That's helpful.
Yes, I can speak.
Cool, cool. You're the first one to talk. None of the other elementals spoke.
Yes, for the safety of Mortalis Terra, they could not.
How come?
In order for us to manifest fully onto Mortalis Terra, it would drain a dangerous amount of energy. Because of that, my sisters have merely projected illusions of themselves to help guide you.
So, are you an illusion too? She shakes her head and her hair brushes alluringly over her chest.
Shadow energy is in excess here. I came seeking your aid.
You need my help?
Ether Terra, where I am from, and Mortalis Terra work in conjunction with each other to maintain the balance of energy. When Terrans use energy, it returns to Ether Terra. And when we use energy, it flows back to Mortalis Terra. This is the reason why maintaining the balance of energy is important. It is so both of our planes of existence can live and thrive upon our shared world. But we noticed an irregularity. Shadow energy was being used less on Mortalis Terra, and as a result, there was less shadow energy available in Ether Terra. But the other elemental energy usage remained unchanged. My people grew increasingly restless at the lack of shadow energy in our world. Some decided to take matters into their own hands. Slowly, shadow energy increased in use until it was back in balance with the other elements. And yet, shadow energy continued to grow and grow. And now the imbalance has returned, with the scale tipped to shadow energy.
That must be because of Void tainting other magic to shadow.
Lena's voice is soft, barely a whisper, but surprises me nonetheless. The dip in shadow energy they felt in Aether Terra must have been a result of the ban in shadow magic after the Treaty of Isaria, and the spike must have been occurred after Void began tainting spheres. For the first time, the shadow until the gaze slides over to Leanna, who falls quiet, uncertain under scrutiny. The shadow elemental smiles softly. Her gaze continues to Zack, Takara, but lingers on Amy.
You have a strength and ability much greater than your age.
Amy continues to stare in awe. She's too awestruck to speak. The shadow elemental smiles reassuringly. The gentle silence falls over us as I contemplate all she said. This isn't what I was expecting.
Time is of the essence. I should not remain here much longer, but I'm sure you have questions.
My mind races with questions. There is an elemental and she's not from here and she's talking to me and it itself has wrapped my head around. It's hard to wrap my head around. I take a deep breath and force myself to calm down and collect my thoughts. What was it that brought me to Terra?
Yes.
Why did you pick me?
We sensed the fortitude of magic ability on the parallel world was significantly stronger than here on Terra. So my sisters and I opened the rift to that world.
But why?
The humans from that world, your world, have a capacity for magic that is unseen here on Terra.
How is that possible? Earth has no magic. She shakes her head.
I do not have the answer to that.
That surprises me. I guess elementals are not as all-knowing as I expected. They have their limitations too. Why did you choose me specifically? She looks at me.
We hoped that a champion from your world would help us, and so you traveled through the rift.
So it's purely by chance that I was chosen. I mean, all the others are... Yeah, she said she gotta go. So one question's good enough for me. That's all I need to know for now. We should get moving and stop Void. Leanna stirs gently beside me, reminding me of her presence. I forgot that they were still there. She makes a scene. Since they remain quiet and let the shadow elemental explain. Tara steps forward.
Sorry to interrupt, but how come we can see you?
Shadow Elemental turns to face her and her hair floats behind her before falling back in place.
In this manifested state, I exist in your plane.
No, that's not good. Karen digs an elbow in his
And
axe.
someone here didn't believe the elementals were real.
He crosses his arms.
Yeah, well, someone also told us Void would be here. But I haven't seen them anywhere.
You're right, it's been quiet.
If they aren't here, then where would they be?
Besides this location, I can sense one other area with a strong congregation of shadow energy.
Amy nods, finding her voice again.
Perhaps that is where Void is located.
Is it nearby?
The elementals shake her head.
No, but I can send you where you need to go.
By opening a rift, she nods. Oh! Can you poof me out of here? I'm gonna make the choice and then I'm gonna load. I'm gonna load after I make this choice. I hesitated as the thought crossed my mind. Maybe I can go home. If the Shadow Elemental opens the rift, then I wouldn't be putting my body under intense stress trying to open it. But now that I know what's been happening here in Terra, can I really just leave my friends in Void to fight on their own? Fuck that! If you're able to bring me to Terra, can you open a rift and send me back home? Amanda looks sharply at me. She opens her mouth and closes again. The rest of my friends look equally surprised. Shadow Elemental shakes her head.
I cannot open a rift to another world on my own.
Fuck.
We needed the combined power of all the elements to be able to open a rift of that magnitude. What I can do is transport you between two concentrations of shadow energies.
I understand. The elemental reaches out her hand for a moment. Nothing happens, but a small purple hole the size of a pea tears open in the space in front of us. It eats the surrounding space until opening is large enough for a person to fit through. I stare in awe as the jagged fabric of reality falls around it. The rift opening is a rich lavender with no indication of where it leads. It feels ominous and familiar. My friends look stiffly at the rift, distrust and hesitation in their eyes. Only Amelia looks intrigued and excited by it.
The balance of the elements must be restored. We're counting on your help.
How come you don't come with us?
This temple has a tremendous amount of energy. It's safe for me to manifest here for a brief time, but I cannot manifest elsewhere, lest it cause irreparable harm to Mortalis Terra.
Amelia steps up to the rift, but the elemental stops her. She faces me again.
There is something I must give you first.
She steps towards me, her dress billowing behind her. She reaches out her hands before she touches me. Leanna pulls me away.
Hold on.
What? Shadow Elemental remains frozen, her eyes expressionless as the land of
You've
Leanna.
seen the kind of damage shadow magic can do. Are you sure it's safe for you to accept that?
Doesn't really matter.
Shadow magic on its own does not do harm, as is the same with any element.
But the corruption it can cause.
Put a hand on Leanna, ready to show her. It'll be no different than when I absorbed any other element. Everything will be fine. Her brows are still creased with worry, but she nods and steps back. The Shadow Elemental places her palms around my face. Her initial touch is like getting hit with a snowball, and I see impact, which fades into nothingness. A smooth stream of energy pours into me, soft as silk, cold as ice. It freezes my bones, darkening my spirits. My teeth begin to chatter, my body shakes. My vision clouds with wave after wave of energy. Faces itself inside me. They cling to me and twist and crawl within me. I feel numb, yet my senses are heightened. It runs through my veins, weightless but present like a shadow. Everything ceases at once. When she breaks contact, I jolt back, blinking my eyes until vision returns. She seems more translucent than before. Leanna rushes over to me.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I turn back to the elemental. Thank you. She nods.
I have done all I can. The rest is up to you.
My friends also look at the elemental.
You can count on us to help.
Thanks for all your help.
Yeah.
I wish time was not so urgent. I have many questions I wish to ask of you, but I thank you for all you've done for us.
The shadow elemental nods and indicates the rift.
Please proceed with haste.
I hesitate and staring into the brightness. What happens if I walk through here? Amelia confidently steps to the rift. Zach's right behind her, and heel and Kara races after him. Only Leanna, she looks at me, immediate gaze, and nods when she returns. She runs through. Stealing my nerves, I follow Leanna in the rift. The brightness surrounds me, engulfing me until it's all I can see. The muted silence is deafening. My blood races through me, but I can barely feel the adrenaline. I feel like I'm suspended in crackling electric air. And that's where we'll end.